Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to talk you through what I've been working on these past couple weeks. You last saw my blue sweater. I'm making a lot of progress with that. I've got the sleeves done, and I think that I'm gonna have the sleeves be 3/4 length sleeves for now. Um, I am in two minds of sleeves. I either like to have them pushed up to my elbow, or I like to have them pulled down over my hands so I can be cozy. And I think if I decide that I don't like the 3/4 length sleeve, I'll have yarn left over that I can just hook into and start the sleeve and make it longer. It's not a big deal. Um, I'm about probably 2 or 3 days away from being done with that sweater, and I am so excited about it. um, I think that I have formed a pretty good opinion on Karen's Simply Soft yarn. I really like it for a structured sweater like that blue sweater. I do not like it for shawls or anything that needs to be more of a flowy fabric. That yarn is too dense. While it's very, very soft, it's also very dense. The fabric doesn't move. So if you're going to use Karen Simply Soft for a shawl, I would definitely recommend upping your hook size so that your tension is a little less tight. Otherwise, it's not going to flop around the way you want a shawl to flop around. um, I ended up not doing my Halloween shirt. I had to frog it. It wasn't working up the way I wanted it to. I didn't think that the pattern was going to translate well on my body, so I just decided that Halloween yarn from Hobby has had many iterations of life so far. It has probably started and been frogged 5 times. So I frogged that pattern, and I have now ceased work with the Halloween yarn. It's going in the closet for next year, unfortunately. But it's okay. It's a learning experience. I don't like working with it. I won't order it again, which is good to know because they have a really pretty Christmas yarn that looks to be about the same type of yarn with the stellina um, wrapped into it, but I'm not gonna get it because I know I hate it. As much as I want a Christmas shawl, I'm not gonna do that to myself. It's not worth the money. But I did end up, if you don't know, Hobby is doing a Black November sale. So from now until I think November 13th, they're gonna have like 50% off of some of their products. And the Christmas yarn that I have been eyeing since they dropped their Christmas yarn is finally 50% off. So I got 3 wheels of that to make myself a nice little Christmas shawl. Um, as far as completed projects go, which I am super excited about, I did this cardigan. Yay! I'm so happy that I have my own crocheted garment for the first time. I did a variation of the Karen Yarn Inspirations adult v-neck cardigan. They unfortunately don't go up to my size, so I have to make quite a few modifications to be able to crochet the garment. And you can kind of see with the neckline how much larger the shoulders are. If I do plan to do this cardigan again because I do like how it turned out, but I'll definitely decrease the size that I use to double, so that the back panel is more narrow than what it is currently. And this was worked up in 5 panels. So there was a back panel, 2 mirror image side panels, and each of the sleeves was worked up in a panel. So when I go back to do it again, I'm not going to do the sleeves in panels. I'm going to attach my yarn after I've seamed together the back panel and the side panels. I'm going to attach my yarn into the armpit, and I'm going to crochet in rounds. to make the sleeves that way, because you have more control over the decreases, because you can see with this sleeve, it's very, very big. Like I could have done with half of this panel. Um, but the way it worked up in the pattern was you started small and then got wider to match the armhole. And I just didn't have enough control over how to make that work, if you know what I mean. So I'm just gonna attach my yarn and do sleeves in the round for the next cardigan, because I really did like the pattern. I like how it came out. I do like the yarn choice. It's a nice autumnal color scheme. It is the Karen Macchiato cake in Heatwave. The one thing I will say about the macchiato cakes is that they are not as soft as blossom cakes. I got the macchiato cake because I thought it was going to be as nice and soft and squishy as the blossom cake is, and it's definitely not. It's more of, it's not Red Heart Super Saver scratchy, but it is more of a scratchy yarn. However, it is incredibly warm. I can feel the warmth emanating from my arms. It's a lovely sitting on the couch watching TV sweater for me right now. That's where it's gonna be. As far as future projects go, I am currently working on a whole bunch of hats, because my local yarn group is going to donate hats to our local school here in Northern Virginia. So I do have a couple already made. I have this very fluffy polyester. He doesn't have a bobble. I think because it's a smaller hat, it might just overpower it. And I also have a bunch of these ear warmers. So this one again is a smaller ear warmer for a smaller kid. And oh my goodness, wait till you see this hat. Oh my God. It is so cute. I love this colorway. This colorway is Ferris wheel from Lion Brand Yarn, and they have just the most beautiful variegated colorways. And I want to get more of this for me to make a sweater for me. I think that is going to be absolutely gorgeous. And currently, so I am finishing up the blue sweater. That is probably going to be done, and I'll film me wearing the sweater to show you, and I'll talk through a little bit more of the process of making it. I know my part one was like kind of how to set up the yoke for yourself. And really, once you set up the yoke, it's just going around and around and around until you have the body. But there are certain modifications that you can make while you're doing that to make a sweater more comfortable for larger bodies. And finally, my ongoing WIP is my reading blanket. Here is that. It's every day that I read, I record the genre that I read. So the pink color here is for romance, the blue is for fantasy, and the orange is for thrillers. I only really read those three categories. I possibly may dabble with some historical romance, which would probably, I'm thinking like a lilac color for that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there, because I don't foresee myself reading that much. So that is my ongoing project. I am behind on that blanket by about 9 days, unfortunately. So I'll probably be working on that pretty hard to get caught up. I also have I have cotton yarn that came in from Hobby that I would like to make t-shirts out of. I'm not really sure how I'm going to get that done, if I'm going to use a Karen Yarn Inspirations pattern and modify it like I did for this, or if I'm going to just freehand it and see where the road takes me. That's also an option. Um, there is a nice tutorial on YouTube that I'll link in the description for how to start a top-down. I think she calls it a sweater, but if you use cotton and you change your stitch up, it can easily be worn as a t-shirt. So I'll make sure to link that down in the description if you're interested. And other than that, just I have that hat project. I wanted to get 20 hats done by the time they need them for the school. It's probably not going to happen because I have about 5 done and there's 2 weeks left. So that's going to be exciting. um, but yeah, I'm just having the best time of my life with my hook and my yarn. Thank you. Hi there. I have finished my blue sweater and I am so excited. I would like to talk through a couple of the things that I did with this sweater that are kind of tailored towards making things bigger for your body. The first thing I did was do increases in the armpits. So as soon as I finished doing the chain when I was connecting the sleeves, I did 2 double crochets in each stitch just under the armpit, so that gave it more of like an A-line figure. I did that for about 3 rows and then I continued in the round like normal. And then I decided as I got down further on my body that I wanted to put some more increases just to make the A-line a bit more A-shaped. So I did on the sides, I did about 4 rows of increases just in the sides of the sweater. And then something unique about this sweater is I split, once I was down my torso and just about to finish, I split the sweater in half so that there's like these little triangles that cut out, and I think it's just adds a little interest. I think it's cute. I did finish it once and decided it was too short, had to go back in and add length, but that's the nice thing about these sweaters is that you can customize them however you want them to be. So if you put it on and you don't like the length, you can just take it right back off and continue going. It's very forgiving. It's not like a panel that you've sewn together and now you have to rip out all the ribbing. It's not a nightmare like that. That's why I prefer the raglans, because there's just so much that you can customize with them. And I am excited to wear this one out. I did decide to go with the 3/4 length sleeve. I probably am going to add on to the sleeve, but I just need to take a little break from the sweater because it took a long time. It was a lot of repeated rows for me, but overall, I'm happy with the outcome, so yay!